And I very honestly, very strongly believe that we all are equals. I am just an actor. I'm a guy whose profession is acting. उसके बाद में it's my personal life. It's my life, and I should not get carried away by what is happening around me.
I feel this generation and the Indian audience somehow has not been explored to that content in the Indian form, in the right way.
करेक्ट
लाइक एक दो साउथ की फिल्में आई है वैसे ट्रेजर हंट वाली पर हिंदी में ज्यादा किसी ने अटेंड
नहीं बनाया
बिकॉज व्हेन यू आर हंग्री एज एन एक्टर ना जब आपकी मैं इसमें क्या कर दूं मैं अलग कर दूं ये कर दूं यहाँ मेरे पास स्पेस था पर वो मुझे रियलाइज हिट अब हो रहा है
OTT में कुछ काम किया है जस्ट बिकॉज OTT इज अराउंड अगर OTT नहीं होता तो मैं शायद कुछ और कर रहा होता आई डोंट नॉट नो बट इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट वन मीडियम आई वुड से एंड आई ऑल्सो बिलीव इन अ सेंस दैट नहीं सोचना चाहिए ज़्यादा आपको कि मैं किस मीडियम पे काम करूंगा या मेरा कॉलिंग क्या है
मेरे लिए एक बड़ा सेटअप है बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं तो कुछ चीज़ों में आप जब विश्वास करते हो लेकिन जब आप उन लोगों को भी उन चीज़ों में विश्वास करते देखते हो जो आपके बिलीफ पॉइंट्स होते हैं तो वो ना एक अंडरलाइनिंग मिल जाती है एक पुश मिल जाता है एक मोटिवेशन मिलता है कि हाँ यार यू नो आप जो सोच रहे हो या जो आपने ट्रैक पकड़ा है लाइफ में वो सही है
Hi everyone, this is Kunal Kothari. You're watching me on IWMBuzz और मेरे साथ बैठे हैं शीलेदार्स. अब ये वर्ड जितना यूनिक साउंड करता है it is only fitting that the team that has created the secret of Shiledars वो भी उतने ही यूनिक है. Let's meet them and have a great conversation. Hi guys.
Hi Kunal, hi.
Hi. So you know Aditya, I have to start with you right away. And मेरा question अब ये नहीं है कि you know ये क्यों unique था. I'm sure it's because the teaser you know itself is so obvious that it is unique, right? My question to you is for someone who's been you know just going on with rooted stories back and forth. I think now the bigger challenge would be कि कौन सी वाली लेनी है. Because you know एक हो जाता है कि पहले thanks to the success of you know pre-success of मुंजा के पहले it might be a little easier as a task, right? कि ठीक है I have nothing to lose so to speak. So you know let's dabble with different things. Now it's a different story. Of course I know Shiledar must be in shoot for a while. But what is it about Shiledars and other stories that you know keep coming to you that you have to know that this has the conviction from go to point A to point Z?
You know for me it was always very very exciting to try new things out. मैंने कभी ना ऐसे नहीं देखा कि स्टोरी रूटेड है नहीं है तो फिर मैं करूँगा आई विल डू इट ओनली इफ इट्स रूटेड ऐसा कभी नहीं था. इट वाज ऑलवेज लाइक इफ दिस इज समथिंग आई विल वॉच और इफ दिस इज समथिंग आई विल बाय अ टिकट एंड गो एंड वॉच इन द थिएटर्स देन आई विल मेक इट. So it's as simple as that. For me, when I used to make Marathi films, again rooted stories तो होती थी because they were a requirement of. That's how we made those movies. But now it is exciting to see कि वो ही flavor, that same narrative can be made into a bigger format in Hindi also, and people want to make it. So that's a shift for the industry. In fact, not for me because I'm making the same stories now on a bigger platform. True. The only thing that I feel has changed and which is very interesting is that more stories are coming to me. So I have more to choose from and then have to be a little more selective. पहले ऐसे तो they used to hunt.
Exactly.
Now a lot more writers, lot more stories get pitched. तो पढ़ना तो सब पढ़ता है but you realize that उसमें से क्या बनाना है आपको ना then you need to take time क्योंकि आपको फिर वो एकदम सोच के you have to select कि अभी what next. Shiledars was shot while I was shooting Munja. तो मुंजा का schedule खत्म हुआ and Shiledar का shoot शुरू हो गया. I finished shooting Munja in May. I started shooting this in August, September. I think October. So it was a back-to-back. So there was never a conscious effort कि यही करना है. It was always a very exciting space to go into because ये adventure है.
Correct.
And it's a treasure hunt. And we have not made treasure hunts.
Never done it, yeah.
So I was shocked कि यार क्यों नहीं बनाया किसी ने? And why? Then I was like, let's make it, yeah, let's do this. But see, I'll tell you one thing. For every director, you need to have a producer or a production house or a platform who supports your vision. And a film like Munja couldn't have been made if Maddock wasn't trusting enough. A show like this couldn't have been made if Hotstar wasn't excited enough. तो ये दोनों हुआ तो we are sitting here today.
Absolutely. And Rajeev, coming to you, you know there is a line in the teaser. आपका character बोलता है कि मैं समझ गया हूँ कि मेरा कर्तव्य क्या है और similar, which in the teaser itself you know it translates to in English कि I have found my life's calling, something you know loosely based on that. And I find it very fascinating that for an actor like you who's been there on the horizon for like over 2 decades, I do believe OTT has been your calling. Do you believe any of those things that you know because in the last decade you've done some stellar work which was up and down in the previous decade so to speak. So do you believe any of those things that platforms have obviously you know transpired your work for more people to see it, and do you believe that's your calling? I don't mean the medium, I mean the work.
No, so I'm a non-believer, by the way. So I don't believe in anything. So for me to believe that this is my calling, no. I think I wake up every day and I just look forward to whatever is offered to me. I think it's always be about projects that I have been part of. Medium is for the audience. For actor, it's a project. So I've always been part of projects. And OTT में कुछ काम किया है just because OTT is around. अगर OTT नहीं होता तो मैं शायद कुछ और कर रहा होता. I do not know. But it's not just about one medium, I would say. And I also believe in a sense that नहीं सोचना चाहिए ज़्यादा आपको कि मैं किस मीडियम पे काम करूँगा या मेरा कॉलिंग क्या है. I think my calling is, if I were to think about it, I think my calling is characters that I have not played in the past, stories which are very new, things that will have a longevity, things that will last for long. So I think I'm very happy to, again, this, I didn't find the project. The project, this project found me. Adi found me.
Absolutely, super. And Gaurav, of course, I think I would say welcome, because in a way, of course, you've done work in the past, there's no denying it, but when you are at the poster of a mega show, I think that hits differently, right?
Absolutely.
So, apart from the obvious question, how was the experience and how does it feel? I think working with Rajeev, working with actors, and of course working with Aditya, that is something that's probably a learning in itself.
Absolutely.
So, how is that experience been in a way that you have just taken these nuggets from these amazing people that you believe that they're gonna stay with you for the rest of your career ahead?
Starting from Rajeev bhai, I think I truly, I'm a very strong believer, on the contrary.
Nice.
So that's
pulls apart,
which is amazing.
Yeah. I am a hardcore believer in everything.
Right.
I believe in everything. So, and one of the things I believe in is that, your vibe attracts your tribe kind of thing. So, I believe that, the way, the frequency at which you're operating in life, the wavelength at which you're at, the universe sends those kind of people, those kind of projects, that kind of challenge or anything in your way. So I think when I met him, he is genuinely, not because we're sitting here and I have told this to him 1,000 times, that he is someone who I actually look up to, because that's my space. Like, matlab, like how he's totally focused on work, his personal life, he's not much into, the other things, which is also fine, which is also fine, we're not show business, but the choices that he has and the way he operates in life, the way he is as a person, the way he treats people around him. तो क्या होता है ना यार, कभी-कभी जैसे as you said, मेरे लिए एक बड़ा सेटअप है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, तो कुछ चीज़ों में आप जब विश्वास करते हो, लेकिन जब आप उन लोगों को भी उन चीज़ों में विश्वास करते देखते हो जो आपके बिलीफ पॉइंट्स होते हैं, तो वो ना एक अंडरलाइनिंग मिल जाती है, एक पुश मिल जाता है, एक मोटिवेशन मिलता है कि हाँ यार, आप जो सोच रहे हो या जो आपने ट्रैक पकड़ा है लाइफ में, वो सही है. सो आई थिंक वर्किंग विद हिम, मीटिंग हिम गेव मी like enormous amount of belief कि मैं सही दिशा में जा रहा हूँ.
Correct.
और मेरी दिशा जो है उसके 500 किलोमीटर पे ये खड़े हैं, मैं भी वहाँ हूँ. So that one thing I really मतलब I really love him and I want to say that on record. And with Sir, I think he has taught me to not think too much while acting. वो एक क्या होता है ना कि स्टार्टिंग से जब आपको रोल्स मिलते हैं तो क्या होता है, जैसे पंकज त्रिपाठी साहब कहते हैं कि शुरुआत में करियर के आपको ऐसे 3 बॉलें मिलती हैं खेलने के लिए, उसी में आपको छक्के चौके मारने होते हैं, यू डोंट हैव एन एंटायर इनिंग्स. तो वहाँ से जब आप आते हो ना तो यू आर वेरी, मतलब कि मैं चीर दूंगा फाड़ दूंगा वाले जोन में होते हो आप. यहाँ जब मैं आया तो ही काम्ड मी डाउन अ लिटिल बिट, ही रियली काम्ड मी डाउन एंड इट हैज रियली हेल्प्ड मी बिकॉज इट गिव्स यू अनदर सुर एज एन एक्टर. बिकॉज वेन यू आर हंग्री एज एन एक्टर ना, जब आपकी मैं इसमें क्या कर दूँ, मैं अलग कर दूँ, ये कर दूँ, यहाँ मेरे पास स्पेस था, पर वो मुझे रियलाइज हिट अब हो रहा है.
करेक्ट.
इवन वाइल आई वाज इन द प्रोसेस, मैं उसी जोन में था कि भाई क्या करना है, बहुत कुछ है, मतलब कैसे. ही सेड भाई तू है, होगा सब अच्छे से, काम डाउन. एंड सो ही रियली ब्रॉट दैट सेंस ऑफ कामनेस, दैट like he actually worked as an anchor for me, and that thing is always going to stay with me. I mean, by God's grace, it's a new beginning for me from here. So this thing that he's taught me to take it easy, he's going to be with me. Like I remember the first conversation he had with me in the vanity about the character was,
इतना सोच मत,
तू बहुत ज़्यादा काम कर रहा है, इतने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. मैं बोला ठीक है, और मुझे कम काम करना तो नहीं आता, but I'll try.
Awesome. No, that's perfect. And Aditya, again, I'll come back to you. And I think, Rajeev, you can chime in as well for this one. Also by the way, I was fortunate to see the trailer just a while ago,
Okay.
you know, before we started the interviews. और उसमें भी मुझे, you know, I was just, you know, finding कि because as you mentioned, पहला treasure hunts show है in India, so to speak, but वो referencing है कि भाई ये तो एकदम इंडियाना जोन्स जैसा लग रहा है.
तुमने बोल ही दिया.
Yeah, exactly, and I love it. I love it because that's obviously the recall value people will have,
Totally,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely. My question is that how much, you know, self-awareness is there about this, or is it just a thing कि यार ये तो थोड़ा बस recall value के लिए डालते हैं?
No, it totally is there. You know, you can't deny कि आपने यही फिल्में देख के बड़े हुए हो. I have grown up watching Indiana Jones timeless number of years. कितना मैंने I don't even remember कि last अभी मैंने जो Harrison Ford की जो फिल्म आई थी last in the series.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, yeah.
Before that I saw them again. So I felt कि I truly believe that I'm a genuine adventure genre fan.
Yeah.
And then अगर मैं fan हूँ तो प्रभाव तो होगा ही ना. And then why deny it? And I think and I feel this generation and the Indian audience somehow has not been explored to that content in the Indian form in the right way.
Correct.
Like एक दो साउथ की फिल्में आई है वैसे ट्रेजर हंट वाली.
Yeah, yeah.
पर हिंदी में ज्यादा किसी ने अटेंड
नहीं
नहीं
बनाया,
किया.
yeah.
तो then we have gone full on and we have also been very self aware कि हम किस दिशा में क्यों जा रहे हैं.
True.
Yeah. So
The first thing he told me was this only when I met him, कि Rajeev, this is in that space.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones की space में है, and that was something that really excited me. मैंने कहा ये तो कभी सुना ही नहीं है मैंने ऐसा कुछ. मैं देखा भी नहीं है, सुना भी नहीं है हमारी तरफ जो हो रहा है. Otherwise there's such OTT वगैरह आने के बाद में इतने डार्क शोज, हर आदमी अपना इतना दिमाग लगा रहा है कि शोज डिफरेंट कैसे बनाओ, इट शुड लुक डिफरेंट. कुछ बहुत ही भलते भलते भी शोज आते हैं.
True.
Where comes then a show like this, which is very simple to understand. It's a fun ride. You will really enjoy. I enjoyed playing this character because the way I am discovering as a character in this was I mean, as an actor, it was the same feeling.
Right.
Because इतने कमाल के सेट्स बनाए थे इसने और हमारे प्रोडक्शन डिजाइनर्स ने, एंड ईच टाइम वी वुड गो ऑन द सेट एंड वी वुड से ओह ये क्या है, मतलब
Transported,
so
yeah.
yeah, so I think it really helped us perform also, and we were in awe of the locations and the
True.
sets, so it really worked. So I think it's definitely going to click with the audiences because it's a very simple show. It's
you know, and think about this, like you've grown up imagining and wondering कि आप कोई ऐसे गुफा में हो और वहाँ पे पता नहीं ट्रैप डोर्स है और आपको भागना है उसमें से. That adventure itself,
It's
we lived
crazy.
it,
Yeah.
We had to recreate it. So when we used to stand there in those spaces, actually building those sets, I used to imagine कि यार as a kid when I kind of thought of these things, I want to see them unfold now on
Correct.
screen.
Yeah.
I want to just give the same experience to a new audience here and try to recreate it as the best possible way I can. So that was always a big homage
I think the
to.
blend of history is also
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
That's
Yeah.
like shit,
Yeah.
you know, icing on the cake.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
completely, yeah.
Fabulous. Rajeev, I have to come back to you and मेरे को ना थोड़ी philosophy class चाहिए आपसे, ठीक है? Because it is genuinely fascinating because as he mentioned and you also, we know you know ये थोड़ा बहुत जो भी जो लोग जानते हैं आपको कि you know it is amazing that over 2 decades you've managed to be so zen-like, you know, with your work. You will go crazy when the camera is on, and when the camera is off, you're like this person who's unaffected by everything going around, you know, himself. It includes, you know, the bad things also. Like so much bad also happens. It reaches you, but you don't get affected. How do you manage to crack this?
I don't know. I think I've drawn a line between the actor and the individual who I am. And what works for me is actually shutting off from everything after the project gets over. And I very honestly, very strongly believe that we all are equals. I am just an actor. I'm a guy whose profession is acting. उसके बाद में it's my personal life. It's my life, and I should not get carried away by what is happening around me.
Right.
I need to have something which is a self belief.
Yep.
और वो मुझे सूट करता है. I do not know how, but it just works for me. I've been hounded by people to tell me कि राजीव up your game.
Yeah.
Social media पे जाओ कुछ करो, up your game. There's so many friends of mine, director friends of mine, who tell me this, Rajeev, everyone wanted you in this project, लेकिन
Yeah.
ना तू दिखता नहीं है, तो ना उनको पैसा दिखना मत, you know, they
True.
can't put money and all of that stuff happens, which I totally understand. But I always think that should I corrupt my belief system just because this is the modus operandi right now? No, I don't want to. If I've survived for so long, I will survive, and then if I don't survive, I'll say bye bye, tata. But then that works for me.
Yes.
So, and I think the most important thing is to have peace of mind, and that's what I choose. I'm not trade with my peace of mind. So I think that is how I operate.
It's
You know,
awesome.
but I'll tell you one thing though, just to add to what he said. A lot of actors don't realize this, that if your job is to perform and if your job is to come on to screen and play a character, the audience needs to also want to see you, right?
Yeah.
अगर आप खुद को इतना सोशल मीडिया पे एक्सपोज कर देते हो ना, तो there's nothing left for me to explore. With him, because he's so less, I was more excited to work with him because I said कि okay, through this show, we'll present him in a way people have not seen. कि ऐसे नहीं कि every alternate day is coming and showing you कि मैं ट्रैक देखो कैसे कर रहा हूँ और मैं जंप कैसे मार रहा हूँ और मैं गाड़ी कैसे, वो कर ही नहीं रहे. तो अभी मैं शो के थ्रू, and now I'm seeing the teaser and I'm seeing a bit of comments, people actually are saying the same thing.
True.
कि यार we see you after such a long time, we are excited to see you. That excited to see you का जो term होता है ना, वो people lose it
That's
if
selling
you
point, yeah.
constantly come on their phones. So that is one big plus I think that he's maintained,
True,
and that's
true.
so great. Yeah.
Secret of Shiledars, secret of Rajeev Khandelwal.
Yeah, totally.
Unveiling with this show, I would say. Fabulous, fabulous. And you know, another one interesting thing is that, you know, I think this is for Rajeev and Gaurav, you know, having done the small screen medium, you know, I mean, it's all, I mean, I'm not going to go that, you know, you were a superstar. Everybody knows it. And my question is that, Rajeev, you must have come across so many scripts over the years, right? I don't want to ask you why I'm not doing television. It's fine. What I want to ask you is, has there been an evolution in the work that has come across you, perhaps in the past 10 years as television scripts or, you know, scripts that probably belong to the small screen? Has there been a change enough for you to even consider ever?
So I'll be honest, I've never ever said no to television as such. I've just said that there is nothing that which is offered to me which probably would lead to evolution of television.
Right.
मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ मुझे करना है. I got so much love from my television shows right in the beginning itself. I mean, I wasn't even prepared for that kind of love. I feel like giving it back to the same audience, but unfortunately, they do not come up with projects, to me at least. जो let's say I have always told them come with shorter format.
Yes.
खत्म तो करो स्टोरीज को अपनी. But then they don't come up with that, and I've always told the makers who approach me for daily soaps, I tell them that listen, I had quit 2 of my daily soaps only to put across a point that I am not there
for 17 years for one show.
Years.
Yeah.
आप छोटे formats करो, मैं available हूँ, but कोई आता नहीं है. There is nobody who's attempting. I don't even see it happening.
It's not.
So,
Yeah.
I do not know, and of course I don't watch too much of television, so I do not know what is happening there. But मेरे पास में ऐसा कोई offer नहीं है, नहीं आया.
And Gaurav, you also, because again, as I mentioned, you've done small screen. Now that you know you are having this a little bit of a shift here and there, do you see there is an evolution enough for, you know, to dabble both worlds at the same time, or still go back to that?
See, essentially, my roots are from stage. I belong to theatre. I was 8 years old when I started acting on stage. And this one thing I really want to say, like when I hear people asking, आपसे बोलते हो अच्छा एक्टर तो अच्छा आप फिल्म एक्टर या वेब, I have never seen that question being asked to say कि आप टेस्ट क्रिकेटर हो या IPL क्रिकेटर हो. I think acting is a craft ना, वो आप चाहे OTT पे कर रहे हो, चाहे आप फिल्म में कर रहे हो या आप थिएटर पे कर रहे हो, टेक्निकलिटीज थोड़ी सी चेंज हो जाती हैं based on the medium. But talking about that, in fact, I did films and web before I entered TV. तो लोगों ने बोला अरे ये रिवर्स कौन जाता है, बट आई हैव नेवर लुक्ड एट इट लाइक दैट. आई एम समवन हु जेन्युइनली, मतलब अगर इंडिया में थिएटर वेस्ट की तरह कमर्शियल होता तो शायद मैं थिएटर करके खुश होता, बिकॉज व्हाट आई लव इज द क्राफ्ट ऑफ इट.
करेक्ट.
और मेरी बचपन से ट्रेनिंग, मेरे डैड मेरे एक्टिंग टीचर रहे हैं, तो मेरी कंडीशनिंग ही वैसे की गई है दैट आई लव द प्रोसेस. तो मुझे वो 3 महीने की थिएटर की रिहर्सल्स भी पसंद है, भले ही शो हो या ना भी हो. तो इसलिए मुझे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता यार कि टीवी है, OTT है. येस, गुड अपॉर्चुनिटीज़, गुड कैरेक्टर्स, एंड आई हैव ट्रूली बीन ब्लेस्ड टू वर्क विद सम अमेजिंग directors, play some very good roles. And I hope it just continues here.
Fabulous, fabulous. And on a parting note, go little weird because मेरे को लगा था कि थोड़ा word play तो मैं भी करूँगा इधर उधर. So yeah, so I have one question and you all can just chime in for just one question, that if you had one secret, अभी हम सब एक दूसरे को secret बोलते हैं, but वो eventually कोई ना कोई इधर पेट में बात नहीं टिकती है, right? And if you had, you know, your secret, I don't want to know your secret, but if you have to give your secret to one Shiledar in your life, and you know that Shiledar will protect it, okay, no matter what, who would that person be?
On this place to this guy.
This guy.
100%. वो बताएगा ही नहीं किसी को. No, but also because he talks so less, but also because of the fact that he is that individual who knows who to say what to and where to not say what not to say.
Right.
So that is definitely him. But अभी तो यार क्या, घर पे तो my kids तो will tell everything. So I will never open my mouth there. वो तो ऐसे बोल देंगे कि वो बीच में, I remember I was shooting and my son was really young and he went to school and the teacher asked him, what does your father do? And he's like, he's a shooter. So I said, I have to tell you this, shooting and shooter में बहुत फर्क है. I am not shooting with a rifle. तो ऐसे अभी घर पे मैं थोड़ा काम की बातें कम ही करता हूँ, क्योंकि वो जाके क्या कहीं से भूत देख लिया इन्होंने यार, कहीं से कुछ ऐसे ट्रेजर उठा के घर पे लेके ऐसे कुछ बोल देगा. बट या
तेरे 6 दोस्त.
हाँ हाँ, अरे
उनमें से
वो तो बहुत सारे हैं, वो तो
the core group of
people.
Yeah, but see, when you're growing up with those friends, you know each other's secrets. You have to keep a secret.
Yeah.
I'll never tell them a secret because then वो तो बक देंगे.
वो बकी देंगे.
But this guy, this guy is that person.
For sure. Rajeev.
I think I'll share my secret with my wife. I think she is the best keeper. वो चाहे कितना भी गुस्सा करे, कुछ भी करे, but I know that it won't go past her.
Awesome. And finally, Gaurav.
Yeah, I am very very close to my parents and my wife as well. So they मतलब कभी ऐसा कोई secret वाली चीज़ है ही नहीं लाइफ में, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. I'm a very open book that ways. But yeah, they are my safe space, my parents and my wife. Yeah. बाकी set की बात करें तो these three have been genuinely मतलब होता ना कि I felt very safe and protected with all these three. And Sai and Rajeev bhai and Aditya sir, मतलब शुरू से ही ऐसा रहा है that I can go up to them and talk and share anything, and he has given me that space, and which I love about him. उनसे तो मुझे छीनना पड़ा था वो स्पेस, थोड़ा सा मुझे घुसना पड़ा था. वो he's a very tough nut to crack that way, but with him he genuinely gave me that space कि तू कुछ भी मुझसे बोल सकता है, पूछ सकता है. And one thing I want to share, so Munjia hadn't come out, so we didn't know that ways, but we were like working and he's so inclusive, like you know, मतलब मुझे लगता था कि यार स्टार्टिंग में क्या होता था जब आप छोटे रोल्स कर रहे होते हो ना, तो लगता है अरे हाँ ठीक है यार अपना काम कर लो, ज़्यादा आइडिया मत दो. तो लेकिन मैं वो बेशरम हूँ उस मामले में. सो आई यूज्ड टू गो टू हिम आल्सो एंड सर ये ऐसे कर लें क्या, ये वैसे कर लें क्या, एंड ही एक्चुअली यूज्ड टू लिसन विद रिस्पेक्ट, इंक्लूड दोज आइडियाज. आई थिंक दैट फॉर अ पर्सन लाइक हिम इज समथिंग टू लर्न फ्रॉम.
You know, but he is also a guy who used to after shooting not leave. वो बैठता था सेट पर, हेल्प करता था. वो एडी बन के हेल्प करता था कि क्या हेल्प चाहिए, मेरा शूट तो खत्म हो चुका है पर दिन में आप शूट कर रहे हो, मुझे घर ही जाना नहीं, मैं आप ही. तो he used to sit on the monitor and tell me कि सर ये देखो आप क्या रहा है. He used to actually come up with some really good suggestions. So you know right who to talk, किसका सुनना है किसका नहीं. तो इसका सुनने लायक था है आदमी, इसलिए सुनता था. But very very interestingly I have also kind of seen these two generations kind of meet and them kind of really break ice, and a lot of credit to him that इसने फोटो जब इनका निकाल के सोशल मीडिया पे डाला था, मैं बोला ये कैसे कर दिया तूने
राजीव खंडेलवाल का फोटो डाल दिया
और made him post it on his own social media.
Wow.
And that was the first leg of the shoot. मतलब हाँ, that was that.
बहुत ballsy.
बोला कर दिया तूने भाई, कर दिया.
Awesome. I think you know that's about it. But you know there are the secret of these Shiledars and so much more is going to be unveiled on 31st Jan and so on. So thank you so much, guys. Such a pleasant conversation. I have had such a great time. I hope you all did too. And all the best for the show and everything you have lined up.
Thank you so much.
It's really very nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Same here.